What's up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast with your boy, Big Tate, Big G. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up to the Know It All crew, man? Let's get it
We
in
have our
with Ray
special guest
Jackson.
in the house, Anthony Floyd and Ray Jackson, man. We are about to get it in today. It is going to be a great and powerful, good time today, man. I promise you, you're not going to regret popping in with us, man, and chopping it up on a Sunday. But before we get into this, man, we're going to get into this. And like you're tuned to the Know It All podcast, and like I said, man, we got a great show for you today, man, and we're gonna jump right into it. I got two of my partners with me, man, Anthony Floyd, Ray Jack. We're gonna talk NIL. Definitely we want to talk about this NIL, this name, image, and likeness change that we have had in the NCAA sports, man, for the athletes, high school. We got some news. Mikey Williams lately, he's the newest one to garner $1 million deal. I mean, it's going bananas out here, man. And then we definitely just talk it up about the culture of sports. And we got some hard questions coming for this way for our guests, man. And I just want to jump right into it. I'm going to introduce our guest to you, my dear friend. I've known him since I was 16 years of age here from the APX. One of the best basketball players I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Of course, he'll downplay that, but I want to introduce to you Ray Jackson, man. Ray, tell people a little bit about yourself.
What's up, family? What's up, man? It's a blessing and an honor, first and foremost. I thank God for these days, bro. But thank you, fellas, for getting me on, letting me on, and just showing an interest 20, 30 years later, man, in the FAB, though. But I'm Ray Jackson, originally born in San Antonio, raised in Austin, LBJ High School, Southside Austin, Texas, Northeast Austin, Texas, all the way to Ann Arbor, Detroit, Michigan, man. So been blessed by the game of basketball to learn and see a lot and do a lot, show me the world. But I'm just thankful, man. I'm home raised, I'm back at home grinding and getting it in the community. And that's what we build like, bro. That's what we do. So, I'm ready to get busy with y'all. Y'all know it all. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Of course, we had Anthony Floyd with us, man. Louisville football player, All-American, played for the Indianapolis Colts, man. Talk to us, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm Anthony Floyd. I'm from Northeast Ohio, Youngstown. Still community, still worker, so it's hard work. Working my way up to then going to University of Louisville. That's why I represent my Cardinals here. Then was All-American at Louisville, safety. Then ended up going and playing with Indianapolis Colts. So bringing that football side to the podcast.
Sure.
All right, man. So let's get into it, bro. Like, first and foremost, y'all are familiar with the NIL rules that have changed. And wait, man, I want to ask you, if this NIL, I know you probably agree with it, man, but give me your thoughts on it. Like, how does this affect the game of college basketball or college football or college athletics as a whole? Tell me about it. How do you see it, man?
Well, I see it as a great step forward, bro. Like, this is the beginning of progress. Now, this is not the end all, because we still need some other things to transpire so that these young athletes can get their just due and get paid for their worth and value, my G. But this is a mighty step forward. It's a powerful step in empowering our young athletes and letting them get what they deserve, man. I mean, you've been having institutions, mainly the NCAA, that have taken full advantage of our student athlete. And as we start off, I gotta let you know that the NCAA tournament alone funds all of the other athletics that you see at universities throughout the school year. So that one basketball tournament that March Madness is funding girls lacrosse. You understand, at other schools. So when you think about these kids not getting any money and they're blessing everybody else, it's due time for our kids to get what they deserve.
Yeah.
I feel that. And Anthony, man, from the football side of things, talk to me. How do you think that this is going to affect the NCAA football?
Well, I think the big part that's going to affect is the fact that you're going to have kids now who Heisman candidates, big dogs, on campus. Because like with basketball, you got 4 or 5 main players. Football, you got 5, 6 Heisman. You got quarterbacks. You got receivers. You got D linemen. And when you got those type of players, I think capitalizing on their own image, I think it's going to be big because, like I said, it doesn't go straight to the schools. It doesn't go straight to them. I think it's going to be big because there's no pressure of coming out as sophomores when these cats are not ready to go to the NFL. Because right now, these cats are chasing NFL money and staying in the league 2 years, because, I test good. Now, if I got my own little money, I can stay in college a little bit, perfect my craft, then go ahead to the NFL and have an 8, 9, 10-year career instead of fizzling out like before. Like I came out in 2003. You didn't have first rounders getting cut after the first year because these cats ain't ready. These cats are just, I test well. I got the size. Let me just go ahead and go to the next level. So the difference now is like cats might say, you know what, let me stay in college, work on my craft, and hopefully when the cats go to the NFL, they're a little more skilled and a little more polished than before.
I agree with you, bro, because that's one of the things. That is one of the things that I've stated is like now we can watch the maturation process evolve like it should be. If I was coming up right now, I'd probably try to stay in school 6 years. Like, I mean, you got to understand, man, that college career is the height of people's peak as far as notoriety. Like some athletes never get seen or noticed again after that. You understand? So if you can monopolize that opportunity, you don't have to leave. You can leave out with damn near $1 million in your pocket, a college degree. You can move on to the next level of your life and not have the pressures of trying to make an NFL or NBA roster, man. That's something that us in the trenches, our leaders in the community, have got to start instilling in our young student athletes. It's a business. It always has been a business. If I'd have knew it was a business, I would have never went to the University of Michigan. I'd have went to the school that offered me the most bread at the time. You understand what I'm talking about? So we've got to instill these values, financial literacy, give them opportunities outside of sports that they can put their monies into, teach them about investments and all those other things, develop trades and skills so that they can go to those colleges, monopolize off that opportunity, and come back and be blessings to their communities.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And Sean, you said you had a question. Go ahead with your question, Sean.
All right. Well, so Ray, I got a question, man, and it's on the flip side of the whole NIL scene, right? How do you currently feel about what I view as far as reconciliation that should happen for the Fabulous Five going back to Michigan and get reinstated with your banners, with the things you was able to accomplish as a team, and bring that credibility back to you guys? Because I felt personally you guys were discredited for a bunch of BS, right? And what they should have done is looked at it from a big picture standpoint and say, okay, hey, look, these were kids that was under the age of 21 that really didn't have any real guidance or leadership to know what they should have done at the time. So now that these kids are flat out getting paid for some of the things that was controversial for you guys, how do y'all feel about getting that reconciliation tied back to the University of Michigan? Because unlike popular opinion, you guys were trendsetters for basketball all the way to today. So that's my question.
So that's a deep question, bro. Especially being a member of the Fab Five. First and foremost, the banners coming down was not an NCAA sanction. That was imposed by a university itself. So we could have been had the banners up long time ago if that was the purpose, you know. For me, it's an internal issue because until my 5 brothers are back on the same page, then we can't move forward. Like, we haven't broke bread individually, collectively since we've been out of college. You understand? We hadn't made money together and capitalized off that. We didn't need any of that to make money and build together. So for me, I think our brothers, we need to come together and get some stuff going prior to. But this would be a great opportunity as I look into the future of truly supporting Juwan Howard. Like, the only reason I go back up there and try to get the banners up would be 1, to support Juwan Howard, 2, to support my teammates that played on those teams so that their legacy is forever entrenched in the University of Michigan. They got kids, family members that want to see the hard work, you know, that they put into the game. So that's my biggest thing now. Like, I don't care about banners. And the crazy part about the banners coming down was that happened years after we were gone. Like, the application of other players that were at Michigan caused our banners to come down. That had nothing to do with what we did while we were there. So
I guess I'm assuming that's like Tractor Trailer and them, some of the stuff that went down with those guys.
Yeah, you know, that happened with Track Trailer and them, but, you know, that came back on us, you know what I'm saying, as a group, you know. But you expect that when you are the trendsetters and the foundation of greatness. Like, Ed O'Bannon fighting for this NIL, getting all this done, man, it was a long time coming. So I have to give major shout outs to the foundation, to the front runners, the guys that started this movement, because I mean, without them, we still be in slavery, bro. And this is an opportunity for all of us to grow. All the teams that were suspended or had kids go ineligible for receiving a hamburger or selling their watches, even at Ohio State, selling rings, like, shoot, man, everything should be revoked at this point in time. You understand? Because it's modern day slavery what we were dealing with, man, to be honest. So I look forward to the Fab Five, which will come. But my main thing is supporting Juwan Howard and my brothers as the 5 coming together and doing it the right way, bro.
Yeah.
You know, just a sidebar to add to that. Me and my brother were talking, and you guys have contributed to so much culture in basketball. One thing I didn't even think about that he brought out, that Big G brought out, was, man, y'all were before AI. You know what I'm saying? And the urban trends that were set in the game of basketball set by the Fab Five. So it's crazy to see what you guys, it's crazy to even think what you guys could have done under this new NIL collective thing. I mean, y'all on a Cosby Show. That's crazy. It's like, I mean, the shorts, the shoes, the socks, all of that, all of the swag in basketball came in as a result of the Fab Five. So, man, when you talk about that and then talk about the eternal stuff, that really gets to me. That gets to me.
But see, you know, and this is the thing by having a father, man. Rest in peace to my dad. He just passed away this summer, but he always taught me the realness, bro. He was like, man, the groundbreakers will never see or reap the true harvest from what they've planted. And I'm cool with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? People always talking about y'all gonna get retribution. Bruh, I've been blessed. Like, if God take me today, man, I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? I got children, a beautiful wife. We all right. Our pockets ain't hurting for certain. You know what I'm saying? So we good. Health and strength is there. We've been a true blessing to the game that I love, bro. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm thankful that these kids will not be in bondage, bro, that they can come out and be owners. They can have their own, you understand? And it's an option for them. That's one of the things we preach is options. Set yourself up so you can make decisions in this life that benefit you and yours. Don't be locked in to having to do something. That's the true meaning of freedom, options. So, you know, I'm excited, bro. I'm thankful for where these young men and women will be able to go with this.
Yeah.
And Tate, you said you had a question. Go ahead with your question, Tate.
No, I just wanted to kind of pick back. Well, first of all, say the year we were supposed to win the national championship was Ray Jack and them freshman year, and they beat Jim Jackson and maybe Ohio State best team in the Elite Eight. I ain't never forgot that, man.
Hey, me neither. Hey, you know why, man? And let me tell you this: that that year, man, and I was looking at the big three, my son, I said, man, Jimmy Jackson is my claim to fame. You know, my son is 15, so he don't get it. But I say, that's my claim to fame right there. He a good dude. But Ohio State smacked us a couple times that year, bro. Like, losing part of the game. And I think a lot of these kids run from losing just to chase the success. For example, Giannis, he took them L's. I'm not a big Giannis fan. I like where his game is growing and how he's maturing. But he took his L's, and he said it, and I know it's offensive to a lot of people. It hurts feelings when he said, I didn't need a super team. Right. Those principles we were raised on. And people come back and say, well, the Fab Five was a super team. I said, no, that was an era where freshmen rarely even played D1 basketball. If you had a freshman on the roster, he might have played a couple minutes or he was redshirted. So that was not a super team. That was the essence of hard work, IQ, and the love of the game. So, man, I'm just excited, man. This is going to open up a lot of opportunities. It's going to force kids to really develop, and it's going to hold them at a level of high character. Like, and let me tell you this. So this is the thing with the NIL. I told you, Amar, I was going to be on all over this. So the NIL also is going to force those corporations that say they care about our young student athletes to truly invest. Like, we'll get a chance to start weeding out who's real and who's fake and who really cares about the movement. Yeah. So it's a two-part thing. It's not just on the athletes. The athletes do have to start showing great character on social media to be able to be branded properly and make the most out of their likeness. But these businesses have got to step up and make sure it's worthwhile and not just enslave our kids and be another NCAA as well.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I had another comment. I want to ask a question, but another comment. We grew up with y'all probably y'all best player in the last couple of years, Xavier Simpson. We grew up with his dad and his uncles. He from Lima, Ohio.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to shout them out to the UM Wolverines. But hey, man, I guess just the question I got is
Xavier. Love you.
Yeah. With the question I got is, I guess, with this NIL and, like, for example, Alabama's quarterback Bryce Young, you know, he's getting paid $1 million already so far because he plays the position in Alabama. He hasn't even started the game yet. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's just the prestige and notoriety of that position. I guess my question is, man, the way y'all kind of took over the Fab Five as freshmen when y'all came in, what type of opportunities you think y'all could have collectively had back then if it was like it is now?
Say, bruh, it would have been across the board. Let me say this. It would have been crazy because we had dealerships, car dealerships, everything, bro. It was crazy even back then. I can't tell the game yet. You know what I'm saying? We got movies coming. So, man, we had a lot of real supporters, bro. So it would have been across the board. Like I said, from car dealerships to clothing, apparel. I mean, man, we had so many people that were at our door. We would be all over the board, man, you know, and I'm excited about even just the opportunities. We talked about the retribution and coming back. We still gaining opportunities. I got water companies and everything that's interested in not only myself, but some of our student athletes that are coming up now. So it's powerful, bro. It's extremely powerful. And I think as the Fab, it would have been interesting to see, like, for me, like Weber, like, see Webb to me. And shout out Webb, man. That's an honor for me. He's going into the Hall of Fame, finally having a brother, somebody I truly love and admire, going into the Hall of Fame. That's an honor. But I would have loved to see his value. Best high school basketball player I ever seen. Never seen somebody come out of high school ready to play in the NBA. Seen him demolish Bill Laimbeer and pro players. So I would have been interested to see his value, bro. I don't know. And this is my suggestion. If you got any college athletes watching this, don't listen to the old slave mentality. Don't go out there pocket watching. Get what's coming to you. Don't worry about what the quarterback or the point guard is getting. It's enough for everybody to eat. Don't let them say, well, it's going to make it to where everybody want to go to Ohio State because they got more. No, it's enough money for everybody. Stay focused on your skill set and your trade and go get your bread. And don't worry about nobody else.
Yeah. Ray brought up an interesting point earlier, though. He said that The Fab Five came from work. It wasn't a super team. It came work. So anything that they would have got back then would have came from that hard work, though. So, Cass, when you look at Alabama with the quarterback playing that position, he getting money off of expectation instead of the work. So what's going to happen is in a year or two, people are throwing money at these cats now. Boom, 50,000, 100,000, get a visit. But if they ain't putting the work in, that's going to trickle out because these are business people, and business people going to jump on it early and say, you know what, let's be a part of this NIL. But guess what? If these college kids ain't doing what they're supposed to do, having bad character, I'm going to go right back to that NFL, or it's going to go right back to the NBA players. So that work has to be put in, because if it's not put in, it's used as a business. I can't market somebody who really ain't putting that work in. So it's going to be interesting to see 2 years or 3 years down the line, do I throw money in because it's new, or do I keep investing $50,000 to $100,000 a year on college athletes? So you got to look at the business side of it 2-3 years down the line. Is it really worth that added money? Because it's hot right now. Let me jump on the board, see who I can get. But so now, like I said, 2-3 years now, I can be more selective. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say, oh yeah, let's go with this team. You know what I'm saying? Let's go with these players, not just, oh, this starting quarterback at Alabama.
Yeah.
That's business. That's business, Anthony. You're right.
Anthony, you saying it so right, bro, because that's some of the adjustments that will be made over a period of time. Like, that's why these athletes have to understand their power right now. Like, y'all getting paid out possibilities right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We in a minute, if y'all don't do the work and act like you should as young men and women, that money is gonna change and possibly disappear, and we lose that power.
So my question, I guess, I agree with what both y'all, Ray and Floyd, just said. But I guess my question would be, won't it always, we talking about collegiate athletes, so won't it always be based off potential? I mean, it's not like in the pros where you come in on a rookie contract, you prove yourself, then you get more bag. It's like you only got 4 years to get the bag.
It's only like that in certain areas, though, bro. Like, for example, the Alabama quarterback, you're going to be on TV 10 times. Michigan quarterback, you're going to be in the big house 10 times. They probably going to give you that look. But for the kid that's at BYU or San Diego State or Florida International, you got to put in that work to be a Thorpe Award winner or a Heisman candidate. At that point in time, your money's going to change. You on the same platform as the kid that's at Alabama or Michigan or Ohio State or Clemson. You have to put the work in. Some of those programs, and that's why I say you can't get caught up in their money, and you have to put the work in. You go to a school that's not on the market, that's not in one of these major conferences, that's not on TV all the time, your money gonna hit different. You understand? Don't worry about that. Put in the work. Now, if I go to Ohio State and I'm the quarterback and they just put 4 dudes in the NFL at that same position, what you think they're going to do off potential? I was put in this position based off potential. So the money comes at that point in time. You're talking about 4 or 5 star athletes. This is set up for the 2-3 star athletes that have business opportunities that want to take advantage of it, that turn out being better than those 5-star athletes and 4-star athletes based off development. It's an opportunity for growth, man, and that's what I love. Like, you just can't watch everybody's pocket. You can't watch nobody's pocket, bro. Choose your lane, stay in it, and maximize that.
Yeah,
right.
You also got.
This was my question. This was my question I had to Anthony. We talked about this.
Hold on, Big G. Anthony had something. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said the one thing that you're going to see is a lot of these colleges are going to put more money into the advertisement of the team and the players, because when the first day they dropped, LSU put a billboard in Times Square talking about how much influence that their players have, how much the TV time that they get and everything else like that. So like Oklahoma did the same thing. They posted how many followers they people got. Texas A&M, how many millions of people that's around that area within 250 miles. It says 25 million people. They're using that as a marketing tool now. So they're going to sit there, and the college is going to put more money to the advertisement of their university and the influence that a university have for their actually athletes. So that's where the growing side is going to come interesting, because now If I know I go to Oklahoma and my followers go from 50,000 to 1.5 million because I'm at Oklahoma, I might slide Oklahoma because I could probably make more money in the NIL.
Yeah, and that goes back to a question or something that me and Anthony had talked about off camera. You know, because my concern has always been what's going to happen when you start seeing these high schools like IMG Academy or like the ones over in the Washington metro area or out in California, where you see these high schools really from the 7th and 6th grade level go out and recruit these kids because of the direct pipeline from the IMG Academy to like the prestigious high level NCAA. And like now we done seen that kid, Monty Williams, he got dropped. Monty he's a year out from even signing with a college, you know, and Monty got a meal ticket, you know. So what my concern is always going to be Mikey Williams. How soon are they going to jump on the bandwagon with these kids from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and they see potential and they start streamlining them to, like I said, like the IMG academies or the bigger schools like that to where they're making millions of dollars in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You know, I guess that's a comment and a question.
It's gonna get to that, my G. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like any investments. You look at Bitcoin, like, ooh, that might blow up. Might throw some money into that. IBM might blow up. So it's gonna be a risk that everybody has to take. You know what I'm saying? It's a learning process, bro. And you are gonna have them that start investing at the little kid that's on YouTube that has 1 million likes that can dribble through his legs, and then he gets in an AAU game against kids his own age and gets smacked around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're gonna have people that you're gonna have those type of investments though, bro. So it's just part of the process and us working it out. Like I said, it's on us to maximize this. This gives us an opportunity to own ourselves, bro. So it's a blessing. If the business want to invest in that man when he's 2 years old, so be it. Just make sure y'all got some bread for the 16, 17-year-old that's going to shine on through college and into the pros as well. So
but it's a process. If you look at this, though, so what's stopping a kid who's a child actor to be on TV at 5 years old, but then you get an athlete like the little kid that was in the Super Bowl that was beginning of the Super Bowl, the little football player in a commercial. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting nothing for that. You know what I'm saying? But yet, those are the things that the business is going to have to look at and say, you know what, how much I'm going to invest? But then the thing is going to be on us as athletes and the people in the community and the older people say, you know what, you got to tighten up as a kid because you have the opportunity. Because when you say, like I had a kid ask me one time, like, hey, Coach Floyd, what hurdles you had to do to get to the league? I told him, I was like, dude, I really didn't have no hurdles because I did what was asked for. I did what I was supposed to do. I worked out. I was on time. I did the things I have to do. And my athletic ability allowed me to move into that next level. Like you got kids now who might have blessings coming their way and they're their own goalkeeper. They standing in front of the goal blocking scholarships because I don't want to do my homework or I want to be in the street. So I might not get this endorsement now. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to teach us to say, you know what, tighten up. It's going to separate the cat who out there for money and the cat who out there can work hard and do what he's supposed to do.
And see, Ray mentioned this earlier, and this is what I got to push this out. And I love you two guys for that, man. Fiscal responsibility has to be taught. That has to be taught. That has to be taught from the ground up. And you got to have, like you just said, Anthony, man, enough to understand, hey, this ain't where you want to go. This ain't how you want to get where you want to get. You need to get this way. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that a lot of the children that we see now are so entitled that it's going to be hard to kind of teach that. So you guys put that tears into this whole thing, work y'all butt off to get this kind of thing happening for these kids. And a lot of kids just going to think it's going to fall in their lap. They can Forrest Gump their way into it. And I hope that there's that education piece that's going into these kids at this point. And I hope that, you know, we stay in the community enough, all of us stay in the community enough that we can tell these kids that, hey, man, hard work beat talent when talent don't work hard, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, Amar, too, you saying some real stuff. but there's casualties in war, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's people that's gonna take advantage of the system and try to manipulate the system. We can't get caught up in that. The thing that I want to make sure that as a true jock, let me be honest with you, that loves sports, I hope they don't take away the team aspect of this. I don't want to see the point shaving and me just playing for stats and me taking 33s just to make this money and not trying to win the game and make the team better. That's the kind of thing that I don't want to happen for this. I don't want it to become a me thing and not a us thing. Like that sports really teach you about life. In the trenches, we have to continue to evolve. Let me say it correctly. We have to continue to evolve. This is not 1978, 1992. It's none of that, Amar. A lot of the things that we put a cap on our growth and our mentality. It was a slave mentality. We are taught to be free. Now that we have the opportunity of freedom, we need to teach the limitations to success, the obedience to success. You can't get out here smoking weed on camera. You can't get out here drinking and doing all that, slapping nobody, talking crazy. That's going to limit your opportunities. Some people feel they might be able to get away with it. Those that are wise and see growth past college and future opportunities will take full advantage of it, bro. And we will continue to instill those values in our communities. There's several programs in Austin, Texas that are doing a great job. And I know the cities that your fans are reaching out from, we got some people in the trenches. We can't let mainstream media tell us the true story that's really fictional because they're not in the trenches.
Right.
We can't put it off the BS, bro. We got some kids that's out here getting it. Allie Green, Latrell McClutchins. Them kids out here getting it, bro. They made straight A's in college. They focus. So those are the kids that I choose to highlight instead of the idiots that won't take advantage and that try to use the system and kill the freedom that we're building upon.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. And Anthony, you was about to say something. Go ahead.
Well, it's going to come down, like I said, responsibility, because, like I said, when these kids is going to be, they got to learn to do what they need to do and handle business instead of chasing money. Because right now is, if I ain't the starting quarterback, let me transfer schools. Like I said, I brought up the question: what if a starting quarterback making $1 million on his name, but then he loses his starting position, or having like that, or what if he get hurt, or stuff like that? But when it comes down to it, and you got to look at the long haul, you ain't going to college to go make money. It comes down to, if you're going to college and if that education is your goal, let it be that. If you make some money on the side, cool. If your goal is to get to the NFL, then that's what you be looking for. Because think about it, at a cat from Alabama, if he's so worried about his $1 million contract, that sponsorship, and he plays so, that's all he left with. Instead of going to the league, now look at the quarterbacks now that Lamar Jackson about to sign. What's his name? Mayfield about to sign. You got the cat from Josh Allen about to sign these $200, $300, $400 million contracts.
That just
so like I said, at the end of the day, it's the long game that needs to be played. Make some money, take care of yourself on the short end, but you still got to look at what's that long game. You know what I'm saying? Don't sacrifice some money now, like you said, point shaving, doing this or going out there, instead of saying, but I can go to league basketball and I can have an 8-year career, get my pension, get this guaranteed money, or do I just chase money in college and flake out and never even get drafted?
Yeah. Facts. So Ray, I have another question, man. Wow. So you guys with the Fab Five made a decision to go and attend college together at the same time, right? And that was the first time it's been done. Really ain't been done like that since. What were you guys thinking? I know I've heard all of the stories, like, y'all got together and y'all were killing people in pickup games, and then the chemistry was there. But what were y'all expectations going into y'all freshman year? Did y'all really think that y'all were gonna make it to the Final Four?
I mean, of course, to be honest with you, bro, I don't know any other mentality to tell you we had other than the truth. Like, Once we played together at orientation and saw that everybody was capable of playing on the D1 level, confidence was through the roof. Like, all of us went to Michigan to start anyway. It wasn't like we were going to Michigan to sit on the bench. It just happened to be a perfect number of 5 of us and 5 spots, and every one of us could fill one of those voids. So we went there to contribute. The team from Michigan the previous years just won a national title, had 2 years down, had some All-Americans on that team still. So we knew we had the caliber of talent to play at the Final Four. We just wanted to be a main part of it. And like I'm telling you, bro, like the basic fundamentals of survival, communication, understanding, bro. Like, we did this. We sat down and talked about it. Once we realized who we are, what we were, and how the media was coming at us, we put plans together. J. Rose, you got to beat all the point guards. Ray, you got to do this in practice. Jimmy, you got to do this. Juwan, boom, boom. We put a strategic plan together to outplay our teammates so that we could all get on that court. So, yeah, bro, we was going there to win it. You know what I'm saying? Every year we was together, we wanted to win it. Even when C-Webb left, we got to the 8 and lost to the champion Arkansas Razorbacks that year. So, man, I don't know what to tell these young athletes other than, man, if you playing, play to win. Please don't let and that's the thing I tell you, Amar, like, it shouldn't have been no limits. Why shouldn't we have thought we were going to win as freshmen? You understand? You talk about the young boy that was on the Super Bowl commercial and all that and ran out with the Super Bowl. That young boy been putting in some real work. You know what I'm saying? His videos display real work. He should get that opportunity as a young man. Now, what he does with that opportunity from this point forward is on him and his support system. But he's been putting in the work. So, young guys, dream big, be big, think great, and do great works. You know what I'm saying? Put in the work. It'll pan out. It'll pan out.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, I had a question too. It's a comment and a question. And me and Ma talked about this off screen, man. I really do believe that your team had more of an influence on the game of basketball than Michael Jordan. I'm known for my hot takes about what I think and feel, but I really do believe that you guys were positionless basketball 30 years ahead of positionless basketball. I think that any of you guys could have played point. Any of you guys could have checked the big man in the post. Any of you guys could have shot a 3. Any of you guys could have ran pick and pop, pick and roll, because the game is draw 2 and kick. And that's why I think that, in my opinion, you guys' influence, it wasn't just all about the ball heads, the baggy shorts, the Nike Air Maxes with the black socks. It wasn't all about that. It was that you guys were doing something that had never been seen before on a basketball floor. I mean, I told mine, I went back and watched film. Y'all was playing triangle basketball before they even knew what the heck triangle basketball was.
Hey, bro.
So that whole draw 2 and kick, that was like boss, man.
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy about that is because that's simple. That's based off our IQ, bro. We was in a crazy system that I hate to this day. Like, that has helped my coaching and training and development so much being in that system because it wasn't catered to nobody but throwing it into the bigs, playing off C-Webb and Juwan. What people saw was some young boys at 18 years old with a very high basketball IQ and work ethic. But I can almost, man, I've never, because I never toot my own horn. But when you say that, and best believe I've thought about that and had this discussion with my close friends. I feel as though we did, bro. You got to understand. We put Michael Jordan in the Black Sox.
That's right. And
Jay Rose was the original big guard. Like, what we did, he took from Magic, his idol, Steve Smith from Detroit, and we put it in our backcourt. Everybody was 6'5" and up. You understand? Right. In our backcourt. So what you see them going to the stretch 4s and 5s and the tall wing players, we did that in the 90s. Like, we switched everything. We big guards. We guarding y'all. We on y'all throat because we the same size and we in the weight room. So, yes. But let me tell you this. If we were coached right, oh, my goodness. I'm sitting here looking at United States and France play. Like, We didn't even press much. We had some of the best athletes in myself and Jimmy in the country. We didn't even pick up full court. If we'd have picked up the one game we picked up full court, let me tell you this: we beat the #1 team in the country. Jimmy picked up Travis Ford full court. Travis Ford, they were running teams out of the gym, that Kentucky team, by 20, 30 points. Only game we was the underdog in all year. Jimmy picked that man up full court. It was a wrap, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, I agree, bro, because Mike had to go get Scotty. He got him a big guard after the FAB. They started winning around that time when he got another big guard in the backcourt with him.
Right.
Then he added Ron Harper. You had 3 guys in the backcourt that was 6'6", 6'5", and better. So, you know, I look at all that, man, but I don't like to, you know, hype ourselves up. I just like to stand on what we built and what we worked for, brother. We blessed the game.
Yeah, I'm just calling a spade.
Blessed the game, bro. We did.
Yeah.
We did. They getting technical.
Yeah, I'm just calling a spade, man. You know,
they shooting arrows up in the crowd after they shoot threes, tapping their chest, and ooh. Man, we'd have got technicals for that. We got technicals just for slapping each other high fives and, you know, talking crazy to the world. So, you know what it is.
But I would take it a step further, though, because even though it was a basketball, look at what they did for college football, because it allowed Black athletes to shine, not at major positions. They can say a group of Black athletes can be the spokesperson for the NCAA, because at that point there was, you know what I'm saying? So look at that, where now it's okay to get a Black quarterback and promote this Black receiver, promote this 4 or 5, not just one. You know what I'm saying? Because every year is always like one cat or two. Let's show Ricky Williams, who got dreads now, and out there. Look at Ezra and James, gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? That allowed him to do what he did, and he going to the Hall of Fame.
It made it okay for cats to be their own individual selves and be accepted.
It was just more than just basketball. It was just, the whole thing, though. Like I said, let's develop that swag. Let's develop that what we can do. And I mean, you had Deion, but when you look at collectively as a group of just Black athletes, it was okay to be the Black athlete, to be dominant, to be a little more confident. I ain't say arrogant, to be confident out there and showing that you having fun.
Yeah, see, the thing with this, fellas, and I hate to take it this way, but for me, it's breaking the slave mentality that Black people aren't good people when they're themselves. Like, we play this game on the park all the time. It might be one fight in 2 weeks. We talking trash to each other, but we going home to parents and going home to households. We not robbing no banks. We just having fun with the game we love. You understand? And this is what we want to show. Let us be free. We don't have to walk all stiff and pass the ball like the Hoosiers. This is not basketball. This is not where the basketball game is going. We can talk crazy, compete at a high level, and go to class and be productive citizens out there in the world. You understand? And be highly marked.
The world got a chance to see that, right? Like, I mean, honestly,
we was thugs, though. Amar, we was thugs and all kind of stuff, bro. I came from a good home. Jimmy King, all of us, Chris Webber, we all came. Like, that's a slap in the face to our parents to say anything like that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say, is that y'all were real. This wasn't an act, right? This was 5 people being themselves. I know it was you, because shoot, I'm in your room playing the game and we drinking soda. I know this was you. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been you, so it was real. And I think when you have authentic moves like that, when you have an authentic move, which lightning only strikes in the bottle sometimes like that, man. And when you have an authentic move like that, it does need to be celebrated. And I think Anthony is definitely right. It opened up so much more for just in the world of athletics. You know what I'm saying? And when G said it, it hit me like he's not lying. He said it. He was like, man, this was before Allen Iverson. And I had to go back because I remember that Andre Patterson from Abilene was in the same grade with Allen Iverson. I remember because they were in the same All-Star game. And I was like, dang, that's right. You know what I'm saying? So it opened up that avenue for kids to just be themselves. Hey, I'm showing up in the game. I'm finna dog walk you. It's about to get ugly. But afterwards, I'm going to dap you up and we're going to go somewhere and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But that's always been the mentality. I can even go back to the tennis courts, playing on the tennis court, talking bad. You mad to me. So what it is.
See, my thing is this, man. You know, I played Division I college football as well, right? And so my thing has always been, I want to see people show they behind at the highest level of competition. That's why you lift all them weights. That's why you run all them laps. That's why you do all them sit-ups and push-ups. That's why you sacrifice when nobody else is paying attention to you. So why not, when you get out on the field or on the court, you do what you do, you know? And so that's why I think it's and that's why I really want to see the whole recognition of the 5 to come back, because on one hand, you guys like changed and revolutionized basketball. So if you was 38 years ahead back then, I could see if y'all was to come together collectively now, what type of impact you would have on these youngsters, man. We just had KJ Adams on the show the other day, man. This kid is baby Chris Webber. I mean, I just sat down on film and watched him. He's a monster. You know, so I'm like, man, what type of impact? Because Juwan is doing it, you know, at Michigan. But then what type of impact if you guys collectively came back together and say, okay, this is where we made our flaws? Because we know the stories. We done heard the story, the falling out between the 5 and Chris and all. We done heard all that mess, right? But what I'm saying is, if y'all come back together, how much of an impact could you have on the game now? Because you was 30 years ahead of the game 30 years ago.
Bruh,
you know, so
Hey, I hate to interrupt, bro, but man, you walking down that main path, bro. And that's, if something happens to Ray Jackson today, bro, know that Ray Jackson was not holding up the progress of the Fab 5. Yeah, I've been group texting everybody trying to get us together because that group was anointed. And I stand on what you're talking about. Man, you know how many people have died and lost their lives and been misdirected because of our lack of unity? Like, I take a lot of responsibility into that as a group. I'm sitting here looking at groups like Bobby Brown, New Edition, and all these others. Even my favorite group, the Ghetto Boys, the March, you know that. They back together. I mean, they work together.
Willie Face and Jay.
I look at that, and it's a problem for Ray Jackson. But let's backtrack. KJ Adams, the example of a kid that these companies should invest in. Comes from a great home, is a great young man, is going to handle himself well on and off the court. Like, those are the kind of kids that I love. I've seen them develop as a baby, man. I have a high level of respect for them. But let me tell you this, and this is the other thing about the athlete and giving them an opportunity. Like, I did not understand it coming from Austin, Texas, the magnitude of the money in the game. But when I got to Michigan, and Amar, you can attest to this because one of our mutual friends has been caught up in this. I realized when I got to Michigan how much money it was. Every time I came to Chrysler Arena, it was a TV station there. ESPN, CBS, ABC, Raycom. You know, back then it was the local. It wasn't Fox Southwest. It was Raycom. So we was on TV every day. Yeah. And from that point on, we seeing this as a fight. We was like, bro, we ain't getting what we supposed to be getting. But we wouldn't understand that if we weren't in that situation and being able to see it. That helped us mature. So at that time, Amar, our freshman year, we couldn't sell shirts, but we had friends that were selling shirts on campus with our likeness on it, helping us, contributing to us lightweight. See, I can't get into all them discussions. Sean Rivers, one of your best friends that you met at Travis High School, along with one of my best friends, Kevin Robinson, were arrested in Dallas at the grade 8, at the Elite 8, the grade 8, because they were selling Fab 4, Fab 5 shirts.
Yeah.
So we've been hustling with this. I was hustling, man. When they put me in the game and let me see the money, me and my team been hustling ever since. It just wasn't legit. It wasn't legal in the eyes of the NCAA, but we've been trying to market. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Don't belittle our kids. Our kids are very and highly intelligent. Let's give them the platform, give them the opportunity, and watch young men be great. You understand? I'm so behind the youth movement. They hype about LeBron, and LeBron them athletically, their window has closed. This is a young man's game. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To have a bunch of 30-plus-year-old dudes on the team, y'all not finna win that. You understand what I'm saying? So we have got to get behind our youth, give them the proper platforms, and trust them to be great. You understand? That's our job now. We can't control what's going on and this, that, and the other, and what might be. Give them the platform, give them the fundamentals, give them the understanding, and watch them be great, bro. It happened to us. We made that impact at 18 years old. And for my football guys, I told y'all I could talk. Well, I'm cold with this talking. I love y'all. We made this impact. Understand when Michigan Fab 5 made this impact. We had Desmond Howard on campus. The biggest football stadium, the winningest football program in the country, still to this day, even though we've had down seasons. The Heisman Trophy winner was on campus, but the Fab 5 was making more noise than Desmond Howard. Yeah. That's crazy to me. You understand? This is a football school.
Y'all was out there like New Edition.
Wow.
But you know, man, it's a lot of, man, I just pray, and I need y'all to pray that me and my boys come back together so that we can make that impact, you know, because they're doing great things. Jay Rose had the school before LeBron James. You know, see, Webb has been investing in black art, and he's a professor now, you know what I'm saying, at a college, teaching college courses along with his other entrepreneur duties. Bruh, it's greatness all over us. We all got our own company. Jimmy's running a great scouting service right now. Yeah. You understand? Juwan's one of the top coaches in the world. And I'm one of the craziest dudes in the world in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? And building Rise Up and some other things. I mean, it's crazy, bro. So it's a blessing.
And a great father and a great mentor. For real. Great father, great mentor.
Man, I'm regular, bro. I'm crazy as hell, bro. You know, I'm passionate about this, so I don't need no accolades. This ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? You're going to watch the seed. You're going to watch the fruit from our labors, though, bro. That's all I always tell people. You're going to see it from them. I'm not going to do no talking. You're going to watch the greatness that stand on our shoulders, bro.
Never have, though. Never have. And Anthony, go ahead. You were saying something?
That was the crazy part about it with the NIL. This is just like the music industry all over again, though. How back in the day, it all went to the producer, the manager, the top dude, then the artist, they do nothing. That's why I said, that's why even when I said these cats like New Edition, it's the same type of thing, because now, like how more artists can go stream, more artists can go, they making more money off of doing tours, they make more money off of doing performances. It's the same thing that's allowing these kids. So it just have to teach these cats the right way and capitalize on that instead of just throwing these cats to the wolves. Because right now, is if you're just going out there chasing money, it's not going to happen. But you got to put the work, you got to strategically work and say, what's going to put me in the best situation to make money or to put me in the right situation. You just can't run out of every opportunity and say, hey, let me, I'm in Texas, let me just promote these dog biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you got to make sure that it fits your image and what you're trying to do as an athlete as well. So don't take any money, because all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end, what are you going to be associated with? So I'm associated with a good product, and I can back, and I want to build with this business, or I'm just going to take a few cents here and there, and I'm promoting beef jerky sticks or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, G. You had a question?
Yeah, I had a question for Anthony, man, and this is a question actually to help young people, right? Like, you had an opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity that I think that most people don't even realize. The best of the best of the best make it to the NFL. You know, people can say it's politics and all whatever else, but man, I mean, I know guys that's been All-Americans that didn't make it, you know, and I'm talking about the best of the best make it. So can you speak to how precious of an opportunity that was to play in the NFL, and not only just play in the NFL, but to get to play with, you know, who most of us think is at least a top 3 or 4 quarterback ever all time, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, yeah.
I mean, you got to look at, I was a college All-American in my sophomore year. Of course, like I said, with the different things, I ended up staying in college and everything else. When I came out, Like I was rated high, but I still needed opportunity and other things to happen to even get me there. Like one of the cats that was in front of me, I think with the Rams, they safety went down a week before cut day. So they traded one of our guys to him and opened up a spot for me. So when you look at the opportunity to get there, especially when I was playing, it was only 4 to a practice squad. So they didn't keep 9, 10, 11 cats on there on the roster. You was either on the 53-man roster or you was one of the 4. Now they got 16 people on the practice squad. You chilling. Yeah. Like when I played, if you play more than 16 games, you can't go on the practice squad. Right. Now these cats is 2-year starters get cut and I go on the practice squad and still so the opportunity was slim. You had to be on point to do what you had to do. Like unfortunately, the fortunate part about me, I went to a good team. I went to Indianapolis. It was a veteran team. Yeah. And I learned so much from them because you with Peyton Manning, you with Mark Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, like Bob Sanders, like so just playing versus like I'm playing with at least 4 or 5 possibly Hall of Famers, and I'm just learning. So it's like I was there with Dungy, and Dungy was like, "Hey, I need you your drop need to be at 12 yards, not at 11, not at 13. I need you at 12."
Yeah.
So like when that just mindset, like they had me out there with my eyes closed after practice. I'm on my own trying to drop the 12 yards with my eyes closed. Just
wow.
And because it was that much detail that they had to do. Like even like my DB group, we used to break down details, not hit hard, not run, details. Because those small things is like now when I train kids or I coach kids, that's what I take to them. Details. If your foot is 3 inches wide, you just gave away 3 inches of your advantage. So when you look at things like that, those are things that when they say football is a game of inches, don't give away 3-4 inches and lose your advantage. Yeah. But those are things when you look at now moving towards life is the details. Man. Did I do this thing correctly? Did I do everything I need to do correctly? Or was I'll let this slide or I'll let this slide? Because what happens is you let 2 or 3 slide, then that becomes a mud slide. Now you're trying to fight things out of that's like, hey, I can't pay a bill because I let it slide this month. I let this bill slide this month.
Sure.
Now all of a sudden you struggle to pay bills. That's when we talk about character and everything else. So like I learned so much from the game of how to prepare for life. And that's why I take to kids because playing at the highest level is great. 60, 70, 80,000 fans is fun. It's something I grew up playing since I was 7.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can't play forever. I didn't play forever, but it was so much I can instill so I can try to influence other people to get to that level.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you said so much right there, bro. That's real, bro. Like the details and the little things and how they transition to life. I think that's the biggest thing, the work ethic, along with the work ethic that I've taken from the game and tried to incorporate into my life, bro. And from me to you, bro, let me tell you this. It is an honor, bro, for you young men to hear our young generation, because I feel like y'all stand on our shoulders, bro, to hear how intelligent y'all are, how y'all are able to go into situations with veteran leadership and adapt and be successful and great. That's why I never put no handicaps over our kids, Amar and fellas, because I know the potential of the student athlete. You understand, man? And shout out to you, bro. Congratulations on everything. And I know you're going to continue to be a blessing to the people out here in the communities and the nation, really, bro, because we going to link. I'm going to need you, young fella. You're going to do some things with me, too, so we're going to be great together.
Because I look at the big thing, because I like with me even being in high school teaching stuff, like the biggest thing that I see that's now that is different is because social media, everything is instant. I want it now. So like I can post a picture in me in my uniform, and like this goes back to like the expectations of like the players and like the Alabama quarterback. You can get the built-this cat coming out of high school and put him in a uniform, and somebody gonna say he gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because his image, the expectation they mind because is instant success. I'm gonna get 1,000 likes with me swole up in a uniform, and I can't play a lick. When you look at it, that's what you're going to see. So when you look at it now, I always say this: what's hurting our youth players is the level of greatness is way up here. They think greatness is here. So they are like, this is our great, this is our good, this is our mediocre. So if our greatness is here 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they starting off great here. They already 2 steps behind us, and they ain't even trying to be great. They just want to be good because guess what? I can throw one clip on social media and get 5,000 likes, and I think I'm doing something. Yeah. So that's the thing that's hurting. It's like when we came out, we didn't have social media like that. You know what I'm saying? You had your tape, and you was either good or you not, and it was word of mouth. Cats seen you play. Hey, that cat a dog. That cat a beast. That cat can do this. Like now, I can be sorry and put one click versus the third string JB cat. They be like, oh yeah, you're great. Oh, and they really start believing it. They really start believing it. Yeah. It was like when I came in high school, we had former NFL players on the wall. I asked coach, hey, how can I get on the wall? He was like, become All-American. Yeah. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I know the history. My picture is on a wall because I became a All-American at my high school. I coached at my high school. These kids walk past it every day. It takes them probably to the fourth grade period and be like, hey, coach, that's you on the wall? Because they don't even know nothing. And they're like, them knowing history. So like, and because you brought up a point, BJ, you was like, with Ray and them, if they come back together with impact, none against them, but our kids ain't trying to learn history. Our kids ain't trying to learn what the 5-5 did. Yeah. Because guess what? You asked them Michigan Fair with the 5-5. I think it was some 5 dudes that played a couple years ago and they lost. That's the only thing they know. Right. Instead of the impact that they had, instead of kids learning the impact and say, you know what, that's the level of greatness, to be honest with you. Let that be the standard. They just think, oh, it's some old cats that played a couple years ago. I think the head coach played with them too. Like, so it's that mentality is teaching kids the history, teaching kids how to be great and what the standard of greatness is. If we don't teach them that, and our kids in general, they're gonna be down here the rest of their lives. And that's why you're gonna get watered down after. That's why you get cats shooting 30-foot jumpers because they think that's great.
And I'm gonna tell you something crazy, and you're right about the kids not knowing the history. That's a cultural thing that we don't embrace our history because it will be repeated if not embraced and understood and changed. Yeah. But for me, being an older guy working at my high school and working in the community, the biggest thing is the relationship. Building a relationship with these kids is so important, and people look at it and take it for granted, but you've got to build relationships with people. Most of the kids that I deal with now have never seen me play basketball. Their parents have, but when they do the research after we built the relationship, and they like, oh my goodness, why are you even here? Why are you even, dealing with us like you did? And it's the relationship after that you develop a relationship, then they do the research. Like you gotta be relatable to these kids, bro. Like that's the thing when we start talking about teaching them and blessing the next generation. We can't go in there like the old school teachers. We have to be totally different and approach them in a way that attracts them to where they're trying to go. It's not about us anymore. So once we build a relationship, the kids start understanding the history. I had so many kids come back to me after, and I thought they knew. Like, man, you did such and such. It's like, nah, I didn't. I did it as a group. But because you are interested in me, you have went back and studied your history because we have built a relationship. The professional athlete, and this is a drawback on our list, we can't isolate ourselves as we move forward and achieve successes, Ahmad. We have to come back and deal with our kids and our people in our community and not be scared to tell people no when they ask for money without earning it. We have to come back home. You understand? You have to go back to your communities and be an intricate part of your community. And we have to support with that. Don't get caught up in the Nipsey Hussle being killed in their community. Yeah, it's casualties, but it's been great works done within our communities. I said it. J. Rose, they were closing the public schools in Detroit. J. Rose built a public school that has graduated all of his students. All of the students get college opportunities. Come on, man. You understand? Ain't none of them kids seen J. Rose play. They parents have. They've seen his works. He's built a relationship with the kids in the community. Now that history can be taught and understood, and the impact can truly be felt. We have to, as adults, bro, build relationships, get off our horse, and go back into the community and deal with our kids at their level. Meet them where they are, man. You understand? And that's my biggest thing moving forward. It's on us adults. How are we going to provide a solid platform for our kids and keep expecting them to live like we did in a slave mentality culture? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So as us adults, and I hate to get off the subject, but you said some good stuff, and we have to meet our children where they are and build proper relationships with them. And that's the key to our success as a culture. Whether it's rap, music, entertainment, come back and give them kids them jewels. Let them know what you went through, exactly what you went through. Be honest. My impact wasn't felt until I was honest with kids. I was honest with myself.
Ray, let me ask you a question. You said this a couple of times. Slave mentality. What do you mean by that? Talk and really open that statement up. What do you mean by having a slave mentality?
So a slave mentality is anything that doesn't allow you to be free, bro. Like, we going and making decisions based off what they tell us we can do, not based off what we can do. Like I said, we could have been selling shirts my freshman year in college, but the slave master said, "No, you taking money from us. That's illegal." We should have said, "The hell with this. We done with basketball." You understand? Let's do something different then. We're not going to keep being oppressed. We know this is right. So the slave mentality that we operated under for so many years is led by a mindset of control, that we are not smart enough, intelligent enough, wise enough to make the proper decisions to benefit ourselves. And as we see now, that's a lie. You understand? Tell our kid, bro, you got kids that can read and write damn near 2-3 years old. They saying go to school at 5, 6. Man, I could have been teaching my kids how to do this. I don't have to wait based on what slave master said was right. It's an entity called God that's greater than everything. And God allows you to do what God wants you to do when you want to do it. You're not controlled by no man, bro. And that's the slave mentality that I'm talking about. We cannot keep trying to hold our kids back because the world has always said, you got to be 17, 16 to drive. You can't do this until you can't get a job till you get. That's a lie. You can be great at any age if you're taught the right way and you have the proper platform.
Hey, man, I certainly agree with everything everybody done said. Y'all jokers talk a lot, man. I'm just now getting to get in. I had a couple crashes about 10 minutes ago, man. But I got a question for Ray and Ant each. Actually, I got 2 questions for each of y'all.
Go first, Ant, because I talk.
Well, this should be kind of matter of fact, right? But what is each of y'all best collegiate game, and what'd you do?
Best collegiate game. I would say I had 2. Southern Miss, I had 3 interceptions and 1 for a pick 6. And that was my sophomore year, and they had, I think Southern Miss was ranked maybe 11 in the country, 17 in the country, and it was on the Fox channel, national TV, and like I said, we just came out there, played hard. Like I said, got my interceptions. That was one. The other one, I think one of the funnest games I played was Florida State my senior year when they was ranked number 4. And I'm sure a lot of y'all Ohio State fans appreciate this because this was 2002, the year that y'all won the national championship.
Yeah.
So Florida State was ranked number 4 and came into Louisville on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I got an interception in overtime, and we ended up winning. And like I said, that just bumped them out of the equation for me. But you like with me playing against Florida State was like
you play for Petrino?
Nah, I was with John L. Smith.
John L. Smith. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like that was the groundwork. Was like when you gotta look at all this stuff, it's like even with the likeness, when you looking at TV, we played so many ESPN games my last 2 years. Like we was playing Tuesday night games. We played Wednesday night ESPN games. We played Thursday night ESPN games. Like our conference in Louisville, we was the ones that really started that, enter that midweek games.
Midweek football for sure.
And I mean, when you step on the stage and just like when you grew up watching Charlie Ward, watching Amp Lee, was Tamir, I forgot his name, Tamir Vanover. Him, you got Warwick Dunn. Like that was my team, Florida State. Yeah. So I had an opportunity to play there my sophomore year.
Oh, you can't leave out Peter Warwick, man.
Yeah, but Peter Warwick was like close to me though. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at Charlie Ward, and that was like when they was winning national champion, like before they really hit the gap. It was when they was knocking out defense. I mean, quarterbacks, 6-7 quarterbacks every single year. I mean, you looking at Tommy Crowley.
You got your number retired in Louisville too, right?
Yeah, they actually put mine in the Ring of Honor. They put it up there. Like I said, and a lot of what I contributed to be honest with you, is because like when I came in, like I said, that history. I looked at Sam Madison, All Pro with the Dolphins. He was top DB. You know what I'm saying?
DB, yeah.
Ray Buchanan, one of the top dudes. He was number 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, let me get on their level. They was all up in the ring. Same thing when I walked in high school, same thing I walked into college. It wasn't, I ain't trying to have to do too much, but it was like, understand this, what numbers do I got to do to get to where it was at? And like I said, I end up surpassing both of them. And they blessed me by having my name in the Ring of Honor. So like one of like 22, 23 players that ever been at that university. So it definitely was a big honor for me. But like you said, I just did the things I was supposed to do.
Right.
And be a student of the game and put the work in. Yeah. But it was like everything else because I seen cats with good talent flunk out. I always tell cats, when I look at me playing from Youngstown, I was one of the best, but I had at 9, 10, 11 years old, it was 10 or 15 of them just like me. They a lot of cats end up not performing after that. But look at Youngstown, like one of my cats in a rivalry when I was little, Keywan Ratliff. He ended up going to Florida, and I led the country in interceptions one year. He turned around, led them the next year.
Yeah.
In interceptions because it was just that mentality. Then look at like you got cats like y'all Old State fans.
Mosi.
You got Maurice Correct. It's the same concept. Like when you come in and step in and do what you got to do, it's you just got to let the talent get over.
It's a mindset.
And let that. And it was from our area, from Youngstown, to know like. And some cats told me like, even coming to draft day, like you from Youngstown, I'm giving you more on this board at higher credentials because you made it through that. I wasn't the best, but yet I did what I had to do, and I didn't fall victim to anything else.
Right.
That's a hot spot in the Midwest, though, and it's some killers, like you said, man. Michigan program is built off Ohio State dudes. That's the craziness about the rivalry, bro. And
I know I ain't gonna lie. If Michigan, I always tell cats, if Michigan came around, like I've been to Michigan camp. I've been there when Biaka Batuka went after that Ohio State game. I was there right after that. You know what I'm saying? In 90, 97, 96, 97. And when I would have been at Michigan, but like me not knowing the recruiting and everything else, how it go, like I had 20, 30 offers, but yet I didn't know how the recruiting thing went. So I didn't end up like at the state championship game, I had Brady Hoke that was there. And head coach at the game, but that's just a different story as far as that. But
and you know what's crazy though, and I could interview you for days. Just think how But think how your mindset would be now, because I remember when Louisville started playing those. You know, I'm a football dude. My dad was an All-American in football, so I love football. I remember when Louisville became one of those teams that was marketed throughout the week.
Yeah.
How would your mindset be different now? Because the goal in college was to be on that team at Michigan, Ohio State, Texas that was going to be on every Saturday. How would your mindset be now knowing that I'm the only game on TV during the week? Because that's a showcase in itself. You know what I'm saying? How would you approach that? Because you're a groundbreaker in that tradition, bro. So how would you approach that?
I mean, when you look at that, I mean, it was terrific for me. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, when you know you're the only game in town Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you know everybody watching you, because when you got to perform. At the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. But then at the end of the day, guess what? It's still football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You get used to you get used to the lights, you get used to the cameras, you get used to that. So at the end of the day, we still gotta play football. So it just
would that help your decision? Would it make your decision even easier going to Louisville instead of choosing the Ohio State? Because I know it was tough in those last days.
Well, I mean, when you look at, like, I'll put it like this. I liked Ohio State, David Boston, Joey Galloway, Sean Springs, all them type of cats. I followed them, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to. I was like, you know what? I might sit for 2 or 3 years. Like when I came out of high school, I was the number 4 rated guy in Ohio, period.
Yeah.
But I wasn't interested in Ohio State because I didn't want to sit for 3 years and play. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was that recruitment story, I never been to an Ohio State game. I've been to a Michigan basketball game. I seen Tractor Trailer and them play. I've been to, you know what I'm saying, camp at Michigan 2 or 3 times. But see, since I never showed Ohio State interest, I never got Ohio State offer. Since I didn't get Ohio State offer, I never got that Michigan offer. If I don't know what I know now, I would have been at Ohio State camps, games, sitting on the sideline. Just I mean, to be honest,
that's the politics in the game that I'm telling people about.
Yeah.
That's
exposure.
I told him just to get my what's name, just to go ahead and get my Michigan offer. Like my dude, Lynn Bowden, played for the Miami Dolphins. I told him, I said he wants to go to Oregon. I said, do what you got to do. Whatever you got to do, get your O State offer. If you get your O State offer, you can go anywhere you want. And he was a top 10 athlete coming out of high school, and athletic wise, he was a top 10.
He played in Kentucky, right?
He was Kentucky though, and became an All-American. Paul Horner,
award winner. He played quarterback, receiver. He played a lot of stuff.
And he had almost 400 rushing yards in my Louisville one year, and I told him, but I said, get your Ohio State offer, then you can go to Oregon. You can go anywhere. But like I said, and that's part of the game. But like I said, being a trendsetter and just like I said, being on at the end of the day, it's great. But guess what? You still got to put that work in, because guess what? If you lose 2 or 3 games, guess what? They ain't putting you on the schedule next year.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This is for everybody to see what type of football that we play, because we was Conference USA at that time. It wasn't the Big East. It wasn't SEC. It wasn't the Big 12, Big 10. It was Conference USA. But guess what? You had David Garrard was a first-round quarterback. You had Chris Winkie, not Chris Winkie, but Ramsey was at Tulane and then getting drafted with Washington.
Patrick Ramsey.
I mean, we played against Brian Leftwich, Roethlisberger, you know what I'm saying? But you playing against those type of players that's still top guys, even though they didn't come from the Big Ten.
That's that platform, though. That weekly football, bro. That's why I say these kids looking at these NILs are gonna have to look at everything. Like some of these teams are not on during the week. Some of these teams only play once a week. You know what I'm saying? So on TV. So those are the kind of things that kids really have to look into. Like you opened up, and what I mean by paying homage to you, you opened up a whole nother platform for kids to shine when y'all opened up that weekly football thing, bro. That was major, especially for the fans.
If you're looking at the NIL now, it's big because recruiting. The thing about this, everybody got an indoor facility. Everybody got nice turf. everybody play these games now. So what's setting you apart, your university? Because as a recruiter, I could walk in and say, it's hard for me to walk in your house now and say, hey, look at our indoor facility. Because guess what? The next team down the line got one. Everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in 1999, everybody didn't have one. So now everybody got one. Now you turn in out. Now you got games on TV. Everybody got these nice cafeterias, these nice weight rooms. What's setting you apart? NIL is going to be that part that sets everybody apart now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's going to complicate it though. It's going to complicate things because, like, do I go for playing time or do I go for possible making money?
Yeah,
playing time brings money though. That's what I tell them. Playing time brings money. So so how do we look at the affiliation with UT and Oklahoma, trying to go into the SEC? This is all part of the NIL and money scheme, bro. And Pat, what do y'all think about that? Y'all talk to me about that.
Well, see, I had my we actually had this conversation offline, and definitely, Ray, I got to talk to you about CBA too. But we had this conversation offline, and I said, without a shadow of a doubt, because Sean was asking me about Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC, but I said it was a money move. I said it was a big time money move because at this point, what we could say, hey, if you want to make money as a college athlete, you come in here because we the big game in town. We are the big dogs in town. We can get you the most money. You come to these environments, you come to this conference, we can get you the most money. And that's kind of squeezing out the little dude. Look at what Deion is doing. Deion's trying to get these kids. Hey, look at the HBCUs. We can play. You know what I'm saying? There's some people coming from here who can play. So he's trying to distract. And that's going the mid-majors, all of these ones who are not affiliated with a conference, guess what? That's going to make them want to get with a conference, and that's going to make it to where, so now you coming in this conference, that's the money. We exchanging money. You got the brass sitting down at the table saying, hey, look, what we going to do is we going to let you in, but you're going to have to give us this amount of the pie. That's how I felt. I felt it was just a money move. What about you, Big G?
Well, you know, I think it was all, as far as football and basketball, which are the two major sports that carry everything, it's got to go down to 4 anyway. Because what's going to happen is we're going to go 16-8, 8-4, 4-2, 2 to the champion. The NCAA, as far as football is concerned, is going to rival, like how Ray said from the beginning. The moneymaker for the NCAA is the tournament, right? So if they can go from 64 to a champion in in basketball, how come they can't go from 16-2 in football for a champion? You know, so it's a moneymaker, and they're going to stretch it out, especially now that they know that these young cats and young kids can get paid for what they do. So the more they're on TV, the more you see their image, likeness, and everything else, the more they can generate more and more revenue for everybody. So it's a win-win. However, geographically is where you're going to get the fight, you know, because whether I like it or not, I mean, I love OHIO, but the majority of athletes that fill up these colleges and these universities are from the Floridas, or from the Texases, or from the Alabamas, or from the Californias, and from the Georgias, right? So now if you see those, you're going to see geographically, they're trying to basically put a fence around the South and say, okay, we're going to lock in Oklahoma and Texas, and this is it, right? And then push everybody else another way. But I still think that there's a few game changers that's got to go down. I think for sure Notre Dame got to jump in the Big Ten. I would love to see us snatch up either West Virginia or Louisville. And, hey, if I'm the Big Ten, I go to Clemson and be like, what you want?
Right.
I give you $75 million. Come on.
Notre Dame running, bro. They've been running since the 90s.
I'm going to tell you this,
since the 90s.
You brought up, though, it's not I don't think it's about money, because didn't they already have a Big 12 network?
Yeah.
No, they don't. They have a UT Longhorn network.
Okay.
They're the only team in the country that has their own network, bro.
Gotcha. Yeah. So but when you look at money,
Notre Dame, ABC,
for Oklahoma and Texas, it's not. I don't think it's about money, because I think the Big 12 could put their own conference together. Their own, not conference, but their own channel. The big thing that I look at is recruiting wise, because recruiting in football, if I get recruited to the SEC, I get a better chance of going to the league than being recruited in the Big 12. So now, if I'm Texas and I'm in the SEC, them kids don't have to go to LSU to be in the SEC. They're already in the SEC in state. So I think it's more of a recruiting move. I think it's the reputation of the SEC recruiting wise and going to the next level that they're focusing on. So like I said, so Clemson don't gotta go nowhere for money. They got an ACC network. So, but like when you look, and they are getting the top athletes in the country there, so they don't need to join another conference. Oklahoma, especially in Texas, has been losing out to athletes over the last couple of years because they're going to the SEC. They rather go to Florida. They rather go to Alabama. They rather go to Mississippi. Why is a Texas kid go to Mississippi? Just because he's in the SEC. So now that's why, think about it. Texas A&M went to the SEC, didn't they? So since they jumped, a lot of them recruits that Texas used to get now are going to Texas A&M just because they're affiliated with the SEC. I think it's all about recruiting more than just the money.
But you know, recruiting is money though, G. When you start putting it together, you know, when you start getting the top recruits, that's where the money falls into place.
You still got to win. Yeah, you still got to win.
Yeah, you still got to win. And see, I think with Texas, the problem I have with it is you have been the lead of a couple conferences that have failed, really. Like, you're not even taking care of home. Like, when A&M left that conference, y'all should have disbanded the conference then. You know what I understand? Texas has been at part of a conference with Colorado, Nebraska, West Virginia. Come on, man. Y'all can't make that work. They seem to be a cancer. I wouldn't let Texas in my conference.
Take what you think, bro.
Hey, let's be honest. TCU or Baylor might be next trying to get to the SEC.
Oh, but they should. I mean, they deserve the opportunity at this point in time. They've been under a rock. Here you go. This is what I tell people about going to Michigan, bro. When I went to Michigan in the 90s, bro, everybody in the conference from Northwestern to Minnesota to Penn State ate the same and did the same shit. You understand? That's equality. Texas is the only one with a network. Everybody ain't eating the same in the Big 12. You understand? In the SEC, everybody's eating the same. So you think Texas been selfish their whole life, gonna go to the SEC and not try to be divisive. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they're like fifth tier, right? Really, for real, to be honest. Because I told Maud and Tate off camera, nobody's taking the place of Bama, Florida, Georgia. That's 1, 2, 3. I don't care how you cut the deck or cut the pie.
The catch is they not fifth tier monetary wise. Like, monetary wise, they are extremely powerful, bro, on all levels. You understand? And they control a lot of the politics that people don't want to talk about.
Right.
So allowing them to come into one of them conferences could be detrimental, bro. I'm telling you, because they've never thought about the overall being of everybody. They've always been a self-entity, bro. And that's not good for a conference when you're trying to build something powerful. I wouldn't let them in, to be honest with you.
So Ray, so I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna double back because Tate had asked you a question about your best game, and I wonder is one of your best games in the CBA or is it in Michigan? Because definitely you were killing the CBA for a couple. I mean, killing the CBA. Now, what was your best game? What was your best game of all time?
Man, Ahmad, and I thought about it when I was hearing Anthony speaking. And college wasn't that experience for me. Like, I went to a college and had to sacrifice my entire game. Like, nobody really ever got to see me play basketball on that level. So, from a college standpoint, I don't have a favorite game because my game was to play a position to help the team win. So my favorite game was the games we won. If you saw a W at the end of that game, that's my favorite game, bro. Because I wasn't the guy that was gonna take 20 shots, and I like flooding the stat sheet. I want assists, I want rebounds, I want points, I want steals. You know what I'm saying? And you know that's my MO, Ahmad. I like to touch on everything. So I have no favorite game in college other than getting to them championship games and winning and being part of a successful group. That's what I want.
Hey Ray, and you and Jimmy King was very similar in that regard. I mean, they could put both y'all big, strong wing defenders out there on anybody and cause havoc.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So in understanding that me and Jimmy made that sacrifice,
right?
Let me be very honest in telling you the reason being the money wasn't behind us.
Wow.
The money, you understand, the money was for Michigan to take care of Michigan kids, Michigan athletes to keep that trend coming. As you've seen with the tractor trailers, the Mo Taylors, you understand? It wasn't about us. So that's what I tell kids when we start talking about these NIL decision making. Go somewhere that they're going to invest in you. If they invest in you at the high school level, the college level, they're going to try to promote you to the NFL or NBA level to get their money back. You understand?
Yeah.
If they're not promoting it, if they're not promoting you at a young age or investing in you early, you can pretty much hang it up, bro, unless you just shoot through the roof and do some extra stuff. You understand what I'm saying as far as where the game is going? The CBA for me, every game was was a good game for me, because I got Rookie of the Year and I was able to be free on the court again. But like I tell people, that was the end of my basketball career, even though I played some years after that. After I went to the CBA, which is the G League now, and was Rookie of the Year, Player of the Week continuously, and never got a call up to the NBA, I half-heartedly played the game from that point on. I knew it was a political screen over me not getting to the NBA. Because here I am killing everybody, going to pro camp, still eating them up too, and y'all not giving me an opportunity. So the CBA was good, but my basketball career, bro, once I got to Michigan, turned straight into business, bro. It wasn't nothing about no good games and nothing. Man, we was looking for the next door, bro.
If you'd have had to do it all again, you think you'd have went to Arkansas, man?
Either Arkansas or probably somewhere, like I tell my man, you know, at the time, Oklahoma State came in the door, you know, talking real greasy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, Arkansas, Oklahoma State would have been one of my looks, bro, probably. More than likely. I definitely think it would have been Arkansas, though, bro.
I think so, too.
Hey, I see you got on a Rockets hat. You a fan?
All day, every day. I'm dreamed out, bro.
Who you want to
dreamed out?
Who you want them to take next Thursday in the draft?
You know, I want that young boy. Me and my son was just looking at. I like that Green, man. I like them young boys, man. You know, he seemed like he made his mind up that he wanted to be a pro at a young age. Let's invest in this kid. He plays above the rim. He does a lot of good things on the court. Let's go with this young boy. Let's give him an opportunity. We took James Harden.
Right.
You know? Hey, Ray, did they run Jay Wall out of town? Is he up out of there, or they hold on to him for a little bit?
Man, he got a $30 million contract. He can't get ran out of town unless somebody wants.
Man, they'll cut him quick.
But you
gotta pay that bag if you cut him still.
I'm upset with the Rockets.
The key is to get something for his value right now. That's the key, bro. You know
I'm
what
upset with hey, Ray, man, I'm upset with the Rockets on how they treating Armani, man. They need to do something, man. Armani was down there showing out. What are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he gonna be all right, bro. See, and I love Armani. The thing is, they gave him a platform to showcase his talent. So he will get picked up somewhere, even if it's not Houston. You understand? I'm just praying that he get that NBA behind his name. I don't give a damn if it's with the Rockets or not, my G. You know, just get through that door, my dude. Get through that door.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't have a favorite game, bro. My favorite, and that's what like I said with the NIL, don't take away the team aspect of this. My favorite game is the games we win, bro. I like to win. Even if I got 2 points, you know what I'm saying? We won that game, I'm going to get better the next night, bro, as long as we won. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing.
And so you guys, man, I definitely appreciate your time here with us, man. I mean, we literally could talk all day because you guys are all that in the bag of chips.
Yeah, man.
Anthony, you definitely gave us game. Ray, you always gonna give us game, man. But I want to give time for you guys to give us parting shots. I'm gonna let Anthony go first, and I want you to just kind of address, you know, if you had the opportunity to speak to America and speak to kids who are playing any sport, what would you tell them? What would
also plug whatever y'all got going on now in your communities and stuff too.
Yeah,
I'll go with that. But yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
I'll just say the big thing right now is like I spoke on earlier, is knowing your history and finding out what's the level of greatness. Like, and don't sell yourself short by what social media is saying, your friends saying, and everything else. Because when you look at the Bible, it's written, people follow it. So same thing in sports. That's why you got stats. That's why you have, like, watch the Classic channel. You know what I'm saying? Watch those games and see what's that level of greatness. Because having one spectacular catch and getting you to that point. So I think right now we just is step up and excel past that level of greatness that you have. That's the big thing. And like I said, the details will get you there. You know what I'm saying? If you concentrate on the little things, big things will happen. Like I said, especially if you just already athletic, you got to just do the little things that you need to do in order to get there. That's the big thing. And I think that's, like I said, what this generation is missing. They want the quick results. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you don't got cats banging inside no more. These cats want to just shoot threes because it's easy. You know what I'm saying? But yet it has to put that work in and take care of the details and push yourself past that level. I always tell people, in order to grow, you got to push yourself past the level of comfortability. If you always stuck at the level of comfortability, you're never going to grow.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing. So that's why I tell the young kids. I always tell my young kids when I speak to them, keep pushing. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you got to push through that, and it's going to make you better. So, I mean, I do that with my training. I got A1 sports training in Ohio right now. So I do really all sports. So I do football, you know what I'm saying, train, position training through with football. I also do, like I said, speed and agility. I'm a certified track coach. I'm a coach with the high school. So really what they're looking for speed, they're looking for agility, they're looking for movement. Like I said, I got female lacrosse players that I train. It's all about the movement. It's all about getting better. Like I said, and a lot of stuff that I see that I work best with is those kids who want to work because I know they're going to be good students because I see that they pay attention to the little things I tell them. They're coachable. So like I said, one is be coachable. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big thing. And that's what I got going on right now. I got my youth 7-on-7 team. So we trying to get that going. Like I said, Ohio, they lacking with 7-on-7 in Ohio. So hopefully they keep changing those rules. And that's why, like, Florida, Georgia, Texas, they doing it in Ohio. We can't even do it until June.
Right.
So we miss out on a lot of that skill. So with the younger group, I try to introduce 7-on-7 early with quarterbacks, receivers, DBs, linebackers, and everything else. So that's what I got going on.
Thank you, sir.
And I could imagine being trained. Were you trained and developed by a pro when you were younger, bro? Did you get that kind of tutelage?
You know what? Actually, I didn't. But like, to be honest with you, I trained myself watching pros.
But like, it's different, and that's why I say that's one of the things that our people have got to do. Go learn from the pros that come back. I know y'all love Johnny that sold 3 pounds of weed yesterday and just got out of jail and all that. But Johnny don't know the NFL. You know
that's right. That's right.
We didn't have trainers like that. We didn't have trainers, like I said, I'm 40, so you figure back in high school, it's mid-90s. We didn't have trainers back then. So like, but I played basketball, I ran track, I played 3 sports, you know, so I played baseball up until 9th grade. So at one point I was 4-sport athlete. So we're just developing with multiple sports. And like I said, with me, it's learning from, like, I watched Barry Sanders, I watched Jerry Rice, I watched Walter Payton, I watched the older, you know what I'm saying, the guys. So it's like Thurman Thomas. Like, I watched them, and that's why I learned from. Like, I tell kids now, like, these kids don't even watch football games. I'm like, damn. They're like, what am I going to learn from football? I said, if you watch an NFL football game right now, after almost every single play, the announcers tell you what happened on every single play, and half the time they draw it up.
Right.
You can learn, so like, people like, well, I like college games better, but if you watch an NFL game, look how much the commentaries talk and explain every single play.
Yeah.
They draw it up. He should have been here. This linebacker had this read. This. You will learn so much by just that aspect. It's a misord of learning the game by not watching it.
There it is. Yeah. And what about you, Ray, man? Give us your parting shots and definitely speak. What would you say to an athlete if you had an opportunity to just speak to an athlete coming up now?
First, my parting shots is to the panel. I ain't got no parting shots. I'm coming back on the show again. So check me out though. What I tell these kids is educate yourself. Education elevates you. It expands your mind. Educate yourself. We're in a season right now where we have to know what we're doing and where we're trying to go. Yeah. Educate yourself, expand your mind, and put in the work. If you put in the work and stick your head up in a year, 2 or 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to be where you want to be. Educate and grind, bro. That's what I tell them. It's simple. Align yourself with people that are on the same mission or have went where you're trying to go, which comes with education, doing the research, understanding, and then put in the work and grind and watch where God will take you, bro. What we got going on right now, man, Rise Up. You know, Rise Up ain't going nowhere. We got the after school programs coming back after COVID. We got the weekend programs coming back to where we coming in the community with the lab. We're giving them trades. We're giving them a skill set that they can take beyond basketball or football. Lab is life after ball. I have a counterpart in Chicago, Jahari. Man, she's been putting it down. We're on the ground in Chicago putting some things down. You understand? So we're going to be in the trenches with Rising Stars Lab. I got the podcast coming back. Me and Bobby Mack, the locker room, that we're going to do something with you guys. I got another podcast on some education. I got a doctor on that show because we teaching more than just the sport.
That's right.
Coming, man. I don't know what to say. We got some business opportunities that are coming up, man, that we're going to open up, but we're going to reveal that next time on the show. But right now, we in the trenches, bro. We're about educating, providing opportunities and resources and solutions. We ain't doing no talking tomorrow. I told you, they going to see the fruits of our labor. The fruit are going to start falling from the tree real soon, bro, and the greatness is going to spread, my G.
Yeah, man.
My only request, can I make one request?
Absolutely.
Us as men continue to have hard conversations and work together and build on that. Leave our feelings aside. We've been blessed to live. Let's build a solid foundation and platform for those that come. Let's continue to have these great connections and build on these relationships and utilize each and every one of us strengths. Let's play to our strengths, baby. Let's be team players and let's win the game of life, my G's.
That's right.
Absolutely, man. We thank you guys once again for coming on the show. And Raven already said he's coming back. Anthony, you're more than welcome to come back anytime, man. If you like the content you got, please like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll see us on Twitch every Sunday as well, and on Facebook at the KnoItAllz Podcast. And as always, man, we out of here. We'll catch up with you next Sunday. Yeah.